So there is an issue I have with one of the conversations, and it's my own fault, really, with one of the conversations we had earlier today about Bryce Young. Bryce Young is not in the top 18 quarterbacks in the league, and we don't know if he's 19 or 27 or beyond because the list only went to 18. On the anonymous poll of NFL executives, coaches, and scouts that ESPN handled, they voted on a top 10, then there was an honorable mention, then there was also receiving votes, 18 quarterbacks in total. Bryce Young's not one of them. And earlier today, I talked about why. And why I agreed with it, and why I don't think he deserves at the moment to be considered a top half of the league quarterback or a top 18 quarterback or maybe even a top 20 quarterback. But the issue I have is I try to be a solutions guy as much as I'm a problems guy. I don't like just bringing up negative and just leaving it out there, right? You got to put the punchline on the joke, right? You need to finish the cycle. So the next question becomes, all right, if he's not in the top 20 or not in the top 18 or he's not a top half of the league quarterback right now, what does he have to do to get there? Well, let's ask this question. Statistically speaking, what does a successful season look like for Bryce Young? We are 9 days to training camp, right? A week from this Wednesday is when training camp opens for the Carolina Panthers. We ask one question a day about the Panthers. Let's lock in on statistical milestones that Bryce Young can chase. Statistically. And the reason why I'm putting statistics out there is because that's hard and fast, right? That's go, no go, pass, fail. You know the number. If we talk theoretically, we can say things like, well, I want him to, be a better leader. And then at the end of the year, I can just decide whether I want to call him a better leader or not, right? That's subjective. If I put numbers out here, there's no hiding from it, right? If I like the guy, which I do, I think he's a nice kid or nice man. I don't know why I call him a kid. He's not that young. I think he's a nice person. Seems like it, right? Handles himself well. I like him. If he falls short of these numbers I'm about to give you, I can't fudge it, right? I can't turn it around. I can't go, well, actually, he did play well. So here's the deal. For Bryce Young to have a successful season in my eyes, here are the numbers. 3,500 passing yards or more. 22 or more passing touchdowns. 8 or less interceptions. 8 or fewer. I don't know if that's proper grammar there. 3,500 passing yards, 22 or more passing touchdowns, and 8 or fewer interceptions. That's what I'm looking for. Last year, 2,400, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But obviously, that's held back by a benching, and he was much better post benching. So, right, the 9 interceptions I think can realistically be lowered a bunch, especially if you take out those 2 catastrophic games earlier on in the season. Now that's an improvement, right? But here's the way I reached these numbers, right? I didn't just grab numbers out of thin air and say, I'll say these on the radio. Although, some of you may think that's what I do. I actually put more thought into that. So what I did was I thought about it, right? All right, top 18. He's not in the top 18. I think for him to be successful next year, he should at least be receiving votes, right? He should at least be in that mix. All right, well, top 18, that's roughly top half. Top 16 would be top half, right? So I went and I looked at the last couple of years and I did some quick calculations. 3,500 passing yards, 22 or more passing touchdowns, and 8 or fewer interceptions essentially, kind of on average, makes you a top half of the league passer. Top half. That's why I don't think I'm being crazy here. I don't think I'm way over asking. I'm just saying I want Bryce in year 3 as a number 1 overall pick that was just given a shiny new toy at wide receiver. In order for me to look at his 3rd year in the league and say that was a good year for Bryce, I think he should be a top half passer. If he's the 15th best passer in the league, I think it's good. Pass. If he's top 10, great. Right? Then A+, do whatever you want. But if he's below that, I reserve the right to say, if it's not happening fast enough yet, if it's not happened fast enough now, it's time to start asking questions. Matter of fact, it's already time to start asking questions. It's time to get real serious about the answers to those questions, and you might not like the answers. Now, I want to be clear on this as well. I'm being clearing a lot of things up. If you are at home and you're listening to this, or you're in your car and you're listening to this, and you're hearing my statistics that I just gave you, and you're saying or thinking to yourself, only statistic that matters is wins. Nonsense. First of all, and what the reason why I say that, the reason why I say it's nonsense is if he plays poorly, if he does not play well, Chuba Hubbard's running all over everybody though, and the defense is playing well, and you're winning a decent amount of games, you win 8-9 games next year, that's not enough for Bryce Young, right? You have to truly be able to evaluate individuals apart from team success. And I'll even tell a personal story on this one, and it's not as selfish as you think it is. So I played football at the University of Delaware. I know most of you know that, but for those of you that don't, played quarterback. And I had a win in a rivalry game where I threw, I think it was like 60 yards or something. It was snowing a little bit. Our All-American running back had it going, and we had a special teams touchdown or two. I did run for a good amount of yards, and I ran for a touchdown just for my own ego. I want to say that. But I threw for like 60 yards or 70 yards. I don't even remember. It was nothing. After that game, I definitely, in watching film and evaluating myself, did not feel very good. Even though we won the game. We won against a rival, and they were a nationally ranked team, and we were a nationally ranked team, and it was a big win for our program, and it was exciting, and everybody was celebrating. I did not feel good about it. And then there were probably games where we lost that, I had to put on the sour face in the post game, but I knew I played pretty well. And when you're evaluating yourself, it's a different, I might have gotten an A. Team might have gotten a D. That's not a selfish way of looking at things. It's a realistic way of looking at things. In order for Bryce Young to have a B or better season, he's got to put up good individual numbers, regardless of the outcome of the season. Joe Burrow had a great season last year. Didn't even make the playoffs. I'm not walking around going, what a bad season by Joe Burrow. No, it was the defense that was the issue. Meanwhile, a lot of times there's been bad quarterback, like Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Not saying he was bad, but, the fact that we're this many years later and we still use that as the example of, you can be a not great quarterback and win a Super Bowl probably says everything you need to know. So statistically, and by the way, this is barring injury, right? If he gets hurt and misses 6 games, we could prorate it down, okay? You take the averages and you subtract 6. But if he is on pace for, in the games that he is healthy for, 3,500 or more passing yards, 22 or more passing touchdowns, and 8 or fewer interceptions, I will be here talking into a microphone saying, good season, Bryce. If he is less than that, don't let me say good season, Bryce. Or at least make me explain why I'm giving him a good season despite not reaching the thresholds that I set. And it's good to say this kind of stuff out loud. If you disagree with me, that's fine. If you're listening and saying I'm being too aggressive, he doesn't have to be that good, or maybe you think I'm being too soft on him and he needs to throw for 4,000 yards. Whatever it is, just write it down, timestamp it, put it somewhere, because it does kind of lock you in, right? It prevents you from getting lost in the narratives and the shuffle and everything else. So I've set my statistics for Bryce. Maybe we'll do this for a couple different guys on statistically, what does a successful season look like? That way we can't run from our expectations later on in the season.